This is a story, but not a true story. It's about a cat named Mr. Whiskers. Mr. Whiskers was no ordinary cat. He loved to dream. Mr. Whiskers lived with a kind family in a cozy little house. He spent his days napping in sunbeams and chasing butterflies. But at night, something magical happened. Mr. Whiskers' dreams would take him on incredible adventures. He would soar through the clouds, explore deep oceans, and even travel to distant planets. One night, Mr. Whiskers had a particularly vivid dream. He found himself in a lush forest, surrounded by talking animals. "Welcome, Mr. Whiskers," said a wise old owl. "We've been expecting you." Mr. Whiskers was astonished. He had never met animals who could talk before, not even in his dreams. "How do you know my name?" he asked, his whiskers twitching with curiosity. The owl chuckled softly. "We know many things, Mr. Whiskers. You are destined for great things." The other animals nodded in agreement. The animals gathered in the heart of the forest, their voices hushed with excitement and anticipation. They had an important message to share with Mr. Whiskers, a message that had been passed down through generations. According to the ancient prophecy, a cat with a star on its forehead would one day rise to save the world from an impending darkness that threatened to engulf everything. And guess what? Mr. Whiskers, the unassuming feline, had a star-shaped marking on his forehead. This revelation left him and the other animals in awe. Mr. Whiskers was hesitant at first. He was just a simple cat who loved to dream and bask in the sun. The idea of being a hero seemed far-fetched to him, but the animals, his friends and companions, assured him that he was indeed the chosen one. They believed in him wholeheartedly and knew that he had the courage and heart to fulfill the prophecy. And so, with a mixture of trepidation and excitement, Mr. Whiskers embarked on a grand adventure with his new friends. They set off on a journey that would test their limits and forge unbreakable bonds. They journeyed through treacherous mountains where the paths were steep and the air thin. They sailed across stormy seas, battling fierce waves and relentless winds that threatened to capsize their boat, and even flew through the air on the back of a giant eagle, soaring above the clouds and witnessing the world from a breathtaking perspective. Each challenge they faced brought them closer together and strengthened their resolve. Along the way, they discovered hidden caves filled with ancient treasures and ruins that whispered secrets of the past. These discoveries not only provided clues to their quest, but also deepened their understanding of the prophecy. At night, they would gather around the campfire, sharing stories and laughter. These moments of camaraderie reminded Mr. Whiskers of the importance of friendship and the strength that comes from unity. As they neared the end of their journey, the final challenge loomed ahead. The darkness they had been warned about was real, and it was up to Mr. Whiskers and his friends to confront it head-on. With unwavering determination, Mr. Whiskers led the charge. The animals fought bravely, their combined efforts creating a beacon of light that pierced through the darkness. In the end, their courage and unity prevailed. The darkness was vanquished, and the world was saved. As the sun rose on a new day, the animals celebrated their victory, knowing that they had achieved something truly extraordinary. Mr. Whiskers, once a simple dreamer, had become a hero. The forest returned to peace, and the animals cheered for their brave friend who had fulfilled the ancient prophecy. After many days of travel, they finally reached their destination, a mysterious island shrouded in mist. "This is it," said the owl, pointing with its wing. "The Island of Time." The island was unlike anything Mr. Whiskers had ever seen before. Strange and wonderful creatures roamed the land and the air hummed with an ancient energy. As they ventured deeper into the island, Mr. Whiskers couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. He felt a presence, both ancient and powerful. They arrived at a clearing in the center of the island. The journey had been long and arduous, but the sight of the clearing filled them with a renewed sense of hope and purpose. The island, shrouded in mystery and legend, had always been a place of wonder and fear. Now, standing in its heart, they felt the weight of the prophecy upon their shoulders. In the middle of the clearing stood a towering tree, its branches reaching towards the sky. This was no ordinary tree, it was ancient, with a trunk so wide it would take several people to encircle it. The leaves shimmered with a strange, otherworldly light, and the air around it seemed to hum with energy. It was as if the tree itself was alive, aware of their presence. "This is the Tree of Life," the owl explained. The owl, with its wise and knowing eyes, had been their guide through the dense forest. It spoke with a voice that resonated with the wisdom of ages, a voice that commanded respect and attention. The Tree of Life, it said, was the heart of the island, the source of its magic and mystery. It holds the key to fulfilling the prophecy. The prophecy, whispered through generations, spoke of a time when the island would reveal its secrets to those worthy. The tree, with its glowing aura, was the focal point of this ancient legend. It was said that only the chosen ones could unlock its power and bring balance to the world. As Mr. Whiskers approached the tree, he felt a surge of energy coursing through his body. The cat, usually aloof and indifferent, seemed drawn to the tree by an invisible force. His fur stood on end, and his eyes glowed with an intensity that was both mesmerizing and unsettling. It was as if the tree recognized him, acknowledged his presence. The star on his forehead glowed brightly, illuminating the clearing with an ethereal light. The light was warm and comforting, yet powerful and commanding. It spread outwards, touching every corner of the clearing, banishing the shadows and filling the air with a sense of peace and purpose. The others watched in awe, realizing that the prophecy was beginning to unfold before their eyes. Suddenly the ground began to shake and the tree's branches swayed violently. The earth trembled as if acknowledging the significance of the moment. The air was filled with the sound of rustling leaves and creaking branches, a symphony of nature responding to the awakening of the tree's power. It was a moment of both fear and exhilaration, a sign that the prophecy was in motion. From the base of the tree, a faint light emerged, growing brighter with every passing moment. The light was pure and radiant, a beacon of hope and promise. It pulsed with a rhythm that matched the beating hearts of those present, a connection between the tree and the chosen ones. As the light grew, it enveloped the clearing, signaling the dawn of a new era, the fulfillment of the ancient prophecy. As the light intensified, the ground split open, revealing a staircase leading down into the earth. The animals gasped in awe. "It's the entrance to the hidden city!" exclaimed a small squirrel, its eyes wide with wonder. Mr. Whiskers knew what he had to do. With a determined meow, he led the way down the staircase, his friends close behind. As they descended deeper, the air grew heavy with anticipation. Finally, they reached the bottom of the staircase and stepped into a vast chamber. Before them lay a breathtaking sight, a magnificent city, bathed in a golden light. The city was unlike anything Mr. Whiskers could have imagined. Buildings shimmered with an otherworldly glow, and strange, beautiful creatures moved gracefully through the streets. These were the guardians of time, protectors of the balance of the universe. The guardians welcomed Mr. Whiskers and his companions with open arms. They had been expecting his arrival, guided by the prophecy passed down through generations. The prophecy, they explained, spoke of a being of pure heart who would restore harmony to the cosmos. Mr. Whiskers, with his kind soul and adventurous spirit, was that being. Section 8. The Time Gate. In a world where the fabric of time and space was delicately woven, there existed a mystical portal known as the Time Gate. This gate was not just a passage but a bridge connecting various epochs and dimensions, a nexus of infinite possibilities. The Guardians, ancient protectors of the realm, led Mr. Whiskers, a seemingly ordinary cat, to the heart of the city. This city was a blend of the old and the new, where medieval architecture stood side by side with futuristic skyscrapers. In the center of this eclectic cityscape, a giant swirling portal pulsed with energy, casting an otherworldly glow on everything around it. This was the Time Gate, a gateway to different points in history and across dimensions. It shimmered with a kaleidoscope of colors, each hue representing a different era or world. The air around it buzzed with a strange electric energy, making the hairs on Mr. Whiskers' fur stand on end. The Guardians, clad in their medieval armor, explained the gravity of the situation. The balance of the universe was threatened by a malevolent force of darkness, an entity that sought to disrupt the flow of time itself. This dark force aimed to unravel the threads of history, causing chaos and destruction across all dimensions. Only Mr. Whiskers, with his unique connection to dreams and imagination, could confront this darkness. His ability to traverse the realms of the subconscious made him the perfect candidate for this mission. The Guardians believed that his pure heart and unyielding spirit would be the key to restoring balance. Mr. Whiskers felt a surge of responsibility. He had always been a dreamer, often lost in his own world of fantasies, but now, those dreams had taken on a new significance. They were no longer just figments of his imagination but a vital part of a cosmic battle. He was just a cat from a cozy little house, yet here he was, entrusted with a mission of cosmic importance. The memories of his simple life, lounging by the window and chasing shadows, seemed like a distant past. Now he stood on the precipice of an epic adventure, ready to face the unknown and protect the very fabric of reality. Section 9. The Journey Home. Taking a deep breath, Mr. Whiskers stepped towards the time gate, his heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. He knew that he might never return from this journey, but he was determined to fulfill his destiny. As he entered the swirling vortex, he felt a strange sensation, as if time itself were bending around him. Then, everything went dark. When Mr. Whiskers opened his eyes, he found himself back in his familiar bed, the morning sun streaming through the window. Had it all been a dream? Section 10. A New Perspective. He looked around the room, everything seemed the same, yet something felt different. He felt changed, as if he had seen things beyond comprehension, experienced realities beyond imagination. From that day forward, Mr. Whiskers carried the weight of the universe in his heart. He continued to dream his extraordinary dreams, but now they held a deeper meaning, a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. He knew that the fate of the universe rested not just on his shoulders, but on the shoulders of every being, every dream, every act of kindness, no matter how small. Section 11. The Power of Imagination. Mr. Whiskers' story reminds us that even the smallest among us can make a difference. It teaches us that imagination is a powerful force, capable of shaping our realities and inspiring us to reach for the stars. So the next time you encounter a cat, take a moment to appreciate the wonders it might hold within its heart. You never know, it just might be a guardian of time, a dreamer of dreams, a hero in disguise. After all, in a universe as vast and mysterious as ours, anything is possible.